What most people do when a customer says, I want to think about it, is we go, why? What do you need to think about? That generally doesn't work very well. So what we want to do is the opposite of what is natural. Okay, all this is a automatic reaction. Why? We want to respond. Reacting is emotional, responding is emotional intelligence. We want to have emotional intelligence. So we want to release the pressure and anxiety from the customer. Oh, I just want to sleep on it. I'm going to stay where I'm at. Hey, that's fair. Makes sense. We're all on the same page with that? You have to release the pressure. In the case of changing companies, this is where I need to identify the objection. So let's pretend all these additional benefits were with insert company A. And then I say, would you still insert their objection? This is their objection, okay? Would you still want to talk to your husband? Would you still want to talk to your wife? Would you still want to sleep on it? Would you still want to pray about it? Would you still want to talk to your goldfish? It doesn't matter. Anytime the company is changing and they like the benefits, I go, let's pretend all these benefits were with company A. Would you still want to think about it? Does that make sense? Cool. Now I need to get some clarity. I need to get some clarity on what's keeping them from moving forward. Right now, we've identified that it's the company is the objection, the company change. Now I need to figure out what specific is the fear, or what is their fear specifically, or what do they think the downside would be. That's where I do, what would be the downside to changing? What would be the downside to ... A mistake that we make here is we do what would be the downside, and then we list a bunch of positives. We do positive, 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 and then the customer says nothing. They go, well, nothing would be wrong with that. When I'm trying to identify fear, I don't list positives. Right? Does that make sense, everybody? In the very beginning, this is a little bit confusing, is we use positives to create a hook, to create interest, right? So if you think about the reframe in the very beginning, what are we listing to get them engaged and to change their perspective? All the positive. Well, let's pretend your doctor's recovered, your meds recovered, you got this, 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 and this. Would you be open to those type of positive changes? Because we're trying to get them hooked into the phone call. At the end, it's actually the opposite. It's the opposite. So we want to find out what the downside would be with no positives. So we don't want to go, well, what would be the downside to getting that flex card, having lower copays, and whatever. The customer's going to go, there isn't one, but I still want to think about it. So this is just very open-ended. Hey, I want to think about it. That's fair. No worries. I'm a little curious. Let's pretend all these benefits were with company A. Would you still want to think about it? And they go, no. Okay. So it sounds like the main concern is that you're having to change companies. And they go, yes. Go, well, what would be the downside to changing? What would be the downside to changing?
I have to notify my pharmacy about my change in plans again.
Okay, cool. Sounds like that was a real phone call. Okay. Okay. Cool. So let's just say they say, well, I'd have to let the pharmacy, or it'd be a headache. I don't know. Let's just do general. Because if they tell you exactly what the issue is, that's a lot easier. So if they were to say I have to notify my pharmacy, I'm then going to, I got clarity, and then I need to isolate the objection, right? So I'd go, is having to notify your pharmacy the only thing keeping you from moving forward? Does that make sense? But let's say they don't give us something specific, and I go, what would be the downside? And they'd go, I don't know, it's just a pain. It's just a pain in the ass, okay? Pain in the ass. No one likes that. I need to get them to elaborate. Can you be a little bit more specific? What do you mean it's a hassle?
Well, I gotta let my doctors know that I changed my plan. I gotta let the pharmacy know about my prescription.
There you go.
Last time I did
Okay, that's a lot. So here we would we would separate and isolate if there's more than one objection. So we got 2 different objections in this scenario, right? It was, what was the first one?
I have to notify my doctors and the pharmacy.
And then everything got messed up?
Yeah, everything got messed up with my prescriptions and I wasn't able to get them filled.
Got it, okay. So I'm just a little curious, Dalton, is it more about having to notify your doctor and pharmacy, or is it the fact that everything got messed up?
That would be a question to ask.
So when we try to herd rabbits, it's very difficult. And multiple objections are like herding cats or rabbits. It's freaking impossible. So we have to narrow down and isolate what's the real issue. Because right now the customer's spiraling and panicking. So we need to start to corral everything so we actually know what to address. So we have acknowledge, let them off the hook, identify the objection, get clarity, then separate and isolate. So if they're giving you multiple things, they don't always, right? They may just go, well, what would be the downside? Well, last time I changed, I couldn't see my doctor. And I go, okay, so besides not being able to see your doctor, do you have any other concerns? And they go, nope. I go, okay. So, and then let's pretend this scenario. I solve or provide a solution. So let's pretend you could see your doctor, right? Your medications didn't get messed up and you didn't have to wait. Then would you be open to the idea of getting the additional benefits?
Well, yeah, why not?
Perfect. So the great news is, Dalton, I'm going to actually hold your hand every step of the way. Your doctor is a preferred provider, which means they love working with Company B, and Company B loves working with them. On top of that, I'll coordinate the transfer of pharmacies to make sure that there is no lapse or there is no delay in getting your medications. So with that being said, then I redirect and close. Redirect and close. So with that being said, the next step is to help you with the application. Does that sound fair? They may go, no, it doesn't. But I just wrapped up all their problems, put it in a box and a bow on it and solved it. So what type of customer is generally going to say no? One that we've put too much stuff into the ether and now it's too overwhelming. So anytime you're changing companies, this is what we want to do. Is there anything you don't like? And they go, no, it sounds good. I just want to stay with Company A. That's fair. Sounds like it's a no and that's okay. Let's pretend all these benefits were with Company A. Then would you want to move forward? They say, yes, then I'd want to move forward. I go, okay, that makes sense. So I'm a little curious, what do you think the downside would be to changing from Company A to Company B? And sometimes they just say, well, Company B or Company A, they've been really good to me. How many of you heard that? Okay, they've been really good to me. They've been really good to me. Now we need to get clarity. Oh, that makes sense. What we don't want to do, and we normally do, is, well, Company B, they're going to give you A, B, C, D, and your doctor's covered in this, and we talk at them. We need to find out what they think and use their words. Not against them, but for them. So we're going to go, oh, they've been really good to you. I love it. What do you like best about Company A?
They're responsive in terms of, so for example, Humana is pretty responsive with, that's why guys pretty responsive when it comes to claims and stuff like that.
Responsive when it comes to claims?
Or like, for example, like their doctors, with Humana working with their doctors, they're like, for prescriptions that need like a referral, like it's just, I don't know. It's
Oh,
just-
you aren't talking about a formulary exception, are you?
A what?
A formulary exception?
No, with the prescriptions, how there's a referral, you know, when you go through the tiers of prescriptions, how they have to have prior authorization or not? They're like, oh, Humana says, gets that prior authorization done so fast.
Got it. So it sounds like your concern is if you were to go from Company A to Company B, it would take a long time to get your medications?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay. And you didn't have a bad experience, did you?
With Humana?
You brought it up. You're playing the customer, not me.
No, I didn't
So
have a bad experience.
there's a
with Humana,
couple
though.
things that's illustrated here. The fact that this just shows we aren't asking these questions to the customers because we can't come up with the responses. So if we do anything, questions. not statements at the end. Questions. So they've been really good to me. Great. When you say they've been really good to me, can you be a little bit more specific? They go, well, they pay all my bills. I don't have to pay anything when I see my doctor. I go, great. So it sounds like your main concern is if you were to change, you wouldn't be able to see your doctor and you would have higher costs. Is that correct? Yes. Besides that, is there anything else? No, that's it. Got it. So let's pretend you can continue to see Dr. A, B, C, and D. And not only that, but this plan put more money back in your pocket every month, not less. Then would you be open to the idea? What is the customer most likely going to say? No? Great. How come? Who said no? Somebody said no, right? Great. How come? You got to give me an objection. This is how it works.
Because I really have, I just really don't feel comfortable switching my carriers. I have good rapport with my carrier. I've been with this carrier for X amount of time.
Got it.
Like 2 years, let's just say 2 years. I've been with my carrier for 2 years,
Got
and
it.
they've treated me very well.
Got it. So when you say they've treated you very well, can you be a little bit more specific?
I was able to get my prescriptions covered and no delay in my prescriptions.
Cool. So one more time, Liz, and I apologize if I wasn't clear. Let's pretend that there was no issue with your medications. They coordinated well with your doctors. Is there any other concerns you would have?
I just don't want anything. My other concerns is I just don't.
Don't want anything to get messed up.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it. So it sounds like your main concern is at the end of the day, you just don't want to be in a worse situation tomorrow than you are today. Would that be fair?
Yes.
Okay. So besides your doctors and medications and feeling really comfortable, what would make it feel like you'd be in a worse situation tomorrow than today? Or are you just concerned that it just might be the wrong decision?
My biggest concern is I just don't want any delay with seeing, my doctors being covered
Got
and
it.
any delay in my drugs. My prescriptions. I need my prescriptions
Great.
to keep.
So let's pretend there was no delay, your doctor was covered, ... And you got, you got insert an extra $100 a month for this benefit. Your copays went from X to Y, and you had phenomenal coverage. Then would it make sense to move forward?
Can you guarantee that will happen?
Let's pretend I could. Then would you feel more comfortable?
Is there something in writing that I'll get?
Let's pretend I could guarantee it and get it to you in writing. Then would you feel more comfortable?
Yes.
Great news, Liz. Not only can I guarantee your doctor will be covered, your medication will be covered, I will also get it to you in writing in the next 7 to 10 days. So with that being said, the next step is let's do an enrollment and let's get on the phone. Okay?
Yeah.
So